So, g'day, fellow geology enthusiasts, and my name is Glenn. And today, well, I actually have this rock here, and we turn on the light and zoom in. You can see it's actually an igneous rock. It has large crystals, and these are feldspars. You can probably see some hornblende if you actually look close enough, but it's hard to actually see that with the background crystals. So the smaller stuff, it's probably biotite, and probably biotite that you can see. That's probably hornblende there. See these crystals, hornblende, and there's also quartz. So whereabouts can I see some quartz? I can see some quartz. Oops. So some quartz here, and it's a little bit hard to actually notice. So maybe that's not biotite. Some quartz here, and oh, there's some quartz on the end there. So it's smoky quartz, and they're called phenocrysts. So they're actually large crystals in a fine matrix. If we can zoom in closer. So yeah, it's a little bit hard, probably hornblende. That's the quartz, feldspars, and the biotite's probably actually really small. So the idea is actually to identify what type of rock this is, because this it might look like you're probably thinking of like a dark grain igneous rock, not a actual, what have I got here? Probably a diorite. So, but a diorite, if you're looking at an igneous rock, a diorite is actually pretty much, that's a diorite. You can see a lot of there's a lot more feldspars, and you can see the smoky quartz in the actual rock. So what is this rock? It's quite a strange rock. I actually haven't found out what it is yet, but we're going to get down to it in this video. So here I actually have the geological map of where I actually got the rock. So I got the rock around here somewhere. So you can see there's other types of rocks. So the DUG is the granite, DVC is the rhyolite, rhyodacite, and the DUH is metamorphic hornfels. But is it actually looking like this? Well, if we look at the actual cauldron, Archean cauldron, this is actually DVC 5 and 3. So if we actually go over to the explanation, we can see that DVC 5 and 3, extrusive rhyolite and rhyodacite, extrusive biotite hypersphene rhyodacite. So they're both rhyodacite, and this is the actual Donna Buang. So this is DVC 5 rhyodacite, and it has a lot of biotites in it that you can see. You can see the actual hornblende, the quartz, and the feldspars. Feldspars are white, quartz is smoky quartz, but they're all small crystals. So we can actually rule this out as the same rock, because this is a rhyodacite. Most likely this is actually coming from volcanic ash, so that's what that is, and it's been recrystallized after it's actually fallen down. These crystals are actually quite large, so we need to exclude some other rocks. So the DH, metamorphic hornfowls, and there's a DUD, felsic intrusions, and a DUG, granite. So let's have a look at the granite. What does the granite look like? This is an actual granite. So, there you go, got a bit of light. So it's an actual granite. You can see that it actually has a lot of feldspars and quartz as predominant rocks in it. Has some hornblende and biotite. So, and that is actually a light coloured rock. Is this the same? No. So it's actually not a granite. Is it a metamorphic hornfowls? Well, if you look at the crystal system in this, these are all irregular. There is no pattern. In a metamorphic rock, you have the crystals would align in a certain direction because of the pressure that's actually being pushed on it. So if it's actually being squeezed this way, the crystals will align that way. And usually it solidifies out. So if I can get some hornfowls, we can see that. So this is actually hornfowls here. So if you can see up close, you can see it's actually got a stratification like sedimentary rock. So it looks like it's got a feldspar vein going through it. You can see it's over stratification. So you would actually get this confused with sedimentary rock. So you actually need to know the actual geologic conditions it's actually formed in. So that is a metamorphic hornfowls. And does that actually look like this? And generally, metamorphic hornfowls comes from sedimentary rock. No, they look nothing alike. So, it can't be a hornfowls. So we exclude that. So if we go back to the map, then what we have done, we've excluded the granite, we've excluded the rhyodacite, we've excluded the metamorphic hornfowls, and obviously it can't be the sedimentary rock. So we've got the DUD. So that's basically what we are looking at, the DUD. And if I go to Google Maps, so Google Maps, we can actually find out where this actually came from. So it's near Tuarong. So Tuarong Reservoir. If you put on the actual satellite, and we go down here, okay, so definitely wasn't Hillsville. Whereabouts is it? Okay, so I found it, and this is it, Mount St. Leonard's. And if we see the actual rock, it's actually over here, and it has a lot of reviews. And let's see if we can actually see any rocks in the photo. So nope. No, there is no rocks. Anyway, so that is definitely where it is. It actually has a tower, and the rocks you can actually gather that are on this road going down. So basically, that is where I actually collected the rocks from. So I know where I actually got the rocks from. If we look at the geological map and we zoom in. Now we're not talking about that road. There's another road that goes around here. And the range is actually on. Okay, so the range is around here. So definitely DUD is where I actually got the rock from. And if we look at DUD, it's actually an indistinguishable. So what did I say about DUD? Okay, a felsic dike. So it's a dike. So that's what we have here. We actually have a dike. And what we need to do is we need to actually go to the geological report. So, okay, so what we're talking about is the Archean cauldron. So this is actually a volcanic complex. Let's have a look at it. So the Archean cauldron, this contains a somewhat younger sequence. The basal fault units of the Tagati subgroup are absent, and the Cerberian subgroup is thick only around the northern margins, but thins rapidly to the south and is thin or absent along the southern western margins. This is best shown in Lake Mountain rhyodacite. So it's all rhyodacite, which thins from 1,000 meters in the north to 100 meters in the south. So that is probably closer towards the volcanic vent, or in the southern and eastern margin. The topmost unit is the Archean supergroup, which represents the final collapse of the Archean cauldron. So that's when the actual volcanic complex collapsed. So probably the magma chamber was emptied and the volcano actually collapsed. Okay, so they only have a small portion of true lava, is restricted to Tagati group. Vast volume is volcanic rhyodacite deposits, ash flow, tuff, and ignimbrite. So that's what we're talking about here, ignimbrite and ash flow tuff, resulting from explosive eruptions and which after settle recrystallize due to heat. And the dating of this is, so we've got the Upper Devonian. So can you see it? Yep. Upper Devonian Merseyville igneous complex. And if we, oh please don't, the dike. Let's have a look at the dikes. I'm not talking about those girls on bikes. Dikes are quartz, hornblende, biotite, porphyroid. So large crystals filled with wide fractures along the northern margins of the Archean cauldron. Now lenticia, usually 500 to 800 meters thick. The composition is similar to Donabuang rhyodacite. So this is a Donabuang rhyodacite, and it is similar in composition, but different crystals that have been formed. So this is basically a quartz, hornblende, biotite, porphyroid. And I'll throw in feldspars because you can see the large crystals of feldspars definitely in the actual rock. So that's basically what you were looking at. So this is a dike, and this was supposed to have formed after the main igneous complex. So the granites had actually intruded, the volcanics had actually ceased to erupt, and this is supposed to be an offshoot of when the cauldron actually collapsed. So it collapsed and it pushed the lavas out into dike form. So it actually went into probably unfilled cavities or fissures are actually, or cracks are actually in the ground. and it remelted the rock that was originally there and recrystallized it into this form. And also it would have bring magma with it as well. So anyway, that's what we're looking at. Quartz hornblende biotite porphyroid. But then again, that actual report is like 55 years old. So I'm trying to look for a more recent description of this and the actual rocks in the Archean cauldron, because it's actually hard to find information about this on the internet. Anyway, thank you very much for watching my video. I hope you learned something about geology and how you actually tell what type of rock you got for a certain locality. Most important thing, know where you got the rock from. Second of all, geological map. And the third one, the geological report of the rocks at that locality. So, and for this one I used the Warburton 250 geological map 2007. So the actual DUD that was used in this report is different than the designation that they gave in the other report. It's just changed over time. And this is quite a beautiful map. So you can actually see the lavas here. Granites. And this granite here, which has come from underground. This lava here, which was above ground, they come at the same time. So this is actually coming from the volcano. The volcano was here. And there was also a probably volcano around there. There wasn't one here. Because the sedimentary rock is still there. And there's probably another one up here. Or maybe these are just vents that come off the actual main granite. So, but the volcano has actually been eroded. It would have been eroded millions of years ago before it was actually buried. So then these volcanoes actually collapsed in on themselves. So it would have been emptied. And these also collapsed as well. So very, very interesting. I don't know that much about it. I need to read up more about these Siberian cauldron and the Archean cauldron. This, I believe this is a Black Mountain complex. Mountain chains. Anyway, beautiful. If you want to know a video on a specific topic, please let me know. And how I could actually be more entertaining. Because I'm a bit boring at the moment. Thank you and goodbye.